Good morning, Modern Steaders. We just had a tropical storm warning the other day, and here it is, 50 degrees out this morning, guys. Feels like a crisp fall day here on the homestead. The other day when I was weed whacking, I did find a couple of red maple leaves already, and I was thinking, no, it's too early to see that stuff. It's my imagination. Fall's not right around the corner. But you know what, guys? It is, and it makes me so happy that we have our greenhouse this year. We'll be able to grow so much more food here throughout the fall and the winter. It's gonna be a huge game changer because we have a very, very short growing season here in northern New Hampshire. Let's see if I can find one of those maple leaves. Up. Here it is, guys. Look at this. It's a little early, I think, this time of the year, but Mother Nature is telling me otherwise. It's gonna be here before we know it. Can you believe it? Oh man, guys, it's crazy. I gotta show this to Gina when she comes down. That also means it's gonna be time to harvest the pigs, and I'd say 8 to 10 months. Yeah, it's crazy to think it's already that time of the year. Good morning, girls. You liking this nice, cool, brisk morning? I bet you are. Gave them a big pile of weeds the other day from the garden, but they didn't eat them all. But I've been dumping their grain on it because it encourages them to eat them a little bit more. You look like you're dressed for winter.
Chilly.
Feels like fall, doesn't it?
Feels good.
Speaking of...
out here in shorts, though.
No, I am. Speaking of fall, did you see what I found?
What? Where was that? On the road?
No, it was over here where I weed whacked.
Crazy.
Isn't it? It's gonna be here before we know it.
You guys in?
Good morning, Buttercup. You got lots of milk for us this morning? That coat's looking so shiny.
She looks full.
She does. I gotta go check on the meat birds this morning. Get a little nervous when it gets chilly like this when we have new baby chicks in our brooder. Survey says they're all looking good. They have plenty of food still in their feeder. That is good. And I am not seeing any dead ones, so that's even better. These guys have already figured out how to use the automatic waterer, and will top up their food dish. Make sure they have plenty of feed. We don't want them running out. We got plenty of water still, and they're loving it. There comes your chicken.
I know.
I heard somebody clucking at like 5:30 in the morning, so I'm wondering if she already laid an egg for us this morning.
Because she didn't lay us one yesterday.
No. Her crop, which is right there, is full. So she's already been over at NYC and had breakfast. Now she's moseying her way on over here. You going back to NYC? We'll see you later. You ready to go out? Let all the girls out. You girls can go eat alfalfa pellets. I know. It's getting to be that time of the year and everybody's going to start going into heat with the cooler nights. The boys are starting to get into a rut. but it's too early to send you back to the breeding bucks. Good morning, Hope, Ivy, Nora. Those are usually the first three out. Maggie, Little P. You gonna come out, Blossom? Come on. Oh, Ivy's already nursing. Hopping through the wet grass. There you go, Nora. That's what you were waiting for, huh? I know it's still the beginning of August, but we're going to be starting to cool off here shortly. We'll still have some warm days, but we're going to be starting to get the cooler weather at night on and off. So the boy bucks are going to be starting to go into the rut. The cooler weather at night will trigger the boys to go into rut naturally. And then it'll be interesting to see when the girls start growing back their thicker winter coats. Right now their coats are nice and thin, and they're going to start getting puffier and puffier. I'll be curious to see if that's like in a few weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. Usually by the girls' winter coats we can tell when winter is coming or how early it's going to be, and if it's going to be a really cold one. Good morning, Figaro. You're all done, Willow? That was fast. Did you get much milk from her today?
Half a jar.
Half a jar. So she might be slowing up on her milk production, is what it seems like. There you go. Go find Nora. I think Willow's looking for an apple too. She's under the apple tree looking. When we ordered our greenhouse, we ordered it with two 4-foot by 4-foot vents, and they're manually opened. We have never installed the linkages so you can manually open them. We have them right here. Is the kit for the manual opening. And then I ordered 2 kits that are gonna automatically open when the greenhouse gets so warm. I believe it's 60 or 65 degrees they start to open. They're called Boom. What it is we have this little bracket and we have a tube right here. But this works when this heats up and gets so warm, this piston, this actuator will move and it will open up the shutters. So we need to get all of this mounted today so we can get it so they open up automatically. Right now in the summertime it's been fairly easy. We just leave the greenhouse completely open. Now that it's going to be getting cooler and that fall and winter is coming, we need to have it so if it's cool out we can keep it shut up, and then say the sun comes out and we're not home, we want those vents to manually open so we don't overheat and kill our plants. These are our manual opening kits for the shutters. Luckily we have a bunch of leftover parts and pieces from the greenhouse build, so we can come in here and get the hardware that we need. Looking for some self-tapping screws. See a bunch right down here. 2. Now we need to run down to the barn and get our sockets and an impact driver. We're gonna need our 2 springs, the bracket for the solar powered actuator, the bracket for our shutter kit, and then our couple of chains we have here and our screws. All right, I'm gonna back out this tech screw a little bit. Oops. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna do the same thing on this one. Loosen that up just a smidge. And go 1, 2, 3. Stretch and pull. I like it. So now, I don't know if you can see in here, but this louver gets latched in this little groove so the wind can't push it open. And that'll keep it sealed nicely for the winter. Got our little hooks. That right here. We can come down, boom, boom. All right, let's mount our bracket right here in the center. I'm gonna pre-drill our holes because we're going through aluminum and our steel tubing. All right, now we can take the bracket for the cylinder that's gonna open it automatically. All right, now we gotta figure out how these chains are gonna work. I don't want both chains connected down here because this chain will be behind our actuator arm, which isn't gonna work. So we're gonna hook this chain here, and then I'll hook this chain over to this one. There we go. Now we'll come down here. And then we'll take this one over here like so, I believe. All right, then we'll take our little eye hook, bring that over to here, and hook it on to this chain. Just gotta make sure we got it the right tension, so when we pull, so let's see, we might have to come right here. They're both shut, and they seem to both have good tension on them. Now we need to close that hook. Bam. And then bam. All right, I gotta stick the actuators in the refrigerator. When they're cold, they will shrink down even more. So this area will be less, and then when they warm up, this extends out, and that's what opens the louver, and then when it cools off, they shrink back down. I'm gonna go put them in the refrigerator and they'll cool off while I finish installing this last one. Aww, it's got a boo-boo on it?
It had a boo-boo, but then I really ruined it.
Oh man, the pigs will like it.
They will, but I wanted to eat the first tomato.
There's a really good little one up front on the other side. It's like this big, Gina, and it's ripe. All right, so we'll install our springs again. One, two, three. do this. 1, 2. And this one's gonna go down here like so. Boom. Boom. I like it. All right, let's get our bracket mounted. I just took it out of the refrigerator. It's nice and cold. Before it gets too warm, I want to get it installed. Yeah, to cool it off, because the heat expands this, and that's what makes this actuator work. And then to make adjustments on how much your vents open, you screw this in. So we're gonna go right there for now. We'll keep an eye on it. I'm not sure exactly how long it's gonna take for this to warm up before it starts opening. All right, I'm gonna get the other one. We'll do the same thing to the other side now. So the directions say to leave them in the freezer for 20 minutes. I will link them in the video description down below to where we bought these kits from. It says to start by threading them in halfway. So we'll go right there. We'll keep an eye on it and we'll see what ends up happening. I don't know how well you can see it, but this vent is starting to open now. This side's a little bit slower. Let's see if we can get up there and see it. Yeah, it's starting to stand straight up. We might have to put more tension on this chain after. The cylinder's still a little cold, so we'll give it time, and then we'll come back out and take a peek at it and make some final adjustments.
I remember songs I used to sing. They talked about love and faithful things. Then the glam caught my eye. So you should go with what feels right. I'm not alright. No, no, I'm not alright. So let's just start again. Oh, oh, oh. Let's just start again. Oh, oh, oh.
And then our carrots seem to be doing really good. And our beets back there are doing really good. We have a ton of green tomatoes. And then we have cherry tomatoes that are orange and they are really sweet and good. So our cucumbers. There's a couple big ones that we need to get down. So yeah, those are starting to die back. So are the zucchini and the summer squash plants. Those are almost done. Our rutabagas are about ready to be harvested. Sweet potatoes seem to do really good. A couple of really cute eggplants. And then another one starting here. Some watermelon. Okay, so this is what I ended up with string beans. I broke the ends off them and washed them. And I'm really picky about my beans, so not half, but quite a bit of them are gonna go to the animals. My blade down with the slicer tool up. And I'm going to make them be able to fit in here horizontally, and then I'm going to slice them so we'll have French style beans. So I'm just, if they're too big for here, I'm just gonna break them in half and try to place them. Okay, here goes nothing.
Right here, it looks like French toast.
Put my blade back in, and it's the right way. And I'm just gonna stack it up. And hit the button. Okay, I'm going to save some for supper tonight. It's chocolate fresh. Should be good. And I think I'm going to do, measure out a cup to a cup and a half and see if I can freeze these. How will they turn out? Seal these up, cover this up, get that in the fridge, get these in the freezer, and then I will see how they turn out when we take them out for a dinner one night.
Alright, so it's been a few hours. This vent is open pretty good. I think we might have to make a few adjustments, but let's check the other side first. See how that one's looking. From the inside right here, it's looking pretty good. Let's go outside and see how open it is. I think we can adjust it some. So, it is up all the way, from what I can tell, because the way this actuator arm is, there's really good tension on these two chains. I think this can get opened more, so in order for this to go up, we need to tighten this rod. know if it's showing up on video, but as I'm screwing this in, I am watching these move. Alright, I like that. Let's go back to the other side and check it out. But this one, I'm really liking how this side's working. They look pretty even. One's not open more than the other one. I'm happy with that. Let's make an adjustment on the other end. Alright, so on this end, this louver side's really good, but this side is about halfway maybe? I'm not sure why this side isn't opening as well as this other one. Might have to position this over here more, because the other side, it's like perfect. And we're up, like connected here a lot further. So let me go ahead and make some changes and see how we like it. Alright, I made a couple adjustments and I'm liking the way it looks. I'm not going to cut any of these chains until we've seen this operate a few times to make sure we like the way it's looking. And then we'll go brown and we'll cut the chains back.
So here are our French style green beans, well, some purple beans, but they're going to turn green. I'm just going to put them in a little bit of water and let them cook up. And I'm cooked up some quinoa. I have some leftover chicken. I'm going to throw all that together with some of our little cherry tomatoes, and I think just simple supper like that tonight. Yummy cherry tomatoes, they're so sweet. I'm just gonna put that in with the quinoa and the chicken, and then we'll do string beans just because we have them. I want to try them out that way.
Ever since a lot of our fresh produce has started coming in, we've been cooking a lot. I'm going to call it ad-lib cooking because we're just throwing in and using what we have on the homestead to make meals. Gina adding those cherry tomatoes to the chicken and quinoa was delicious. Their tomatoes weren't roasted, but they were just steamed a little bit, being cooked the way they were. And man, they got so much sweeter than they are off the vine. It was just amazing. What are some dishes you guys like to make when you're cooking with fresh produce from around the yard? It's just amazing the different ideas you can come up with. Thanks for coming along on our homesteading journey with us, guys. You are a huge blessing to us in our homestead, and we'll see you right back here in the next video at Lumnah Acres.